The family of Tyre Nichols plans to lay him to rest this morning. We're live with where things stand.
Here at home, a $12 million settlement is reached in an officer-involved shooting of a suburban boy.
Another cold start to the day. There is a warm-up, kind of, in the forecast. We'll get to that on this Wednesday, February 1st.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
Yeah, you know that whole warm-up thing is kind of relative.
Right.
Yeah, freezing sounds
within
pretty good
context.
Yes, Chicago. Hey, everybody, I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner on this first day of February, a very cold start of the day. And you know what? Happy Black History Month.
Yeah.
You're looking at it right here.
You sure are.
Yes, you are. I think we did make a little history being here together on this 7 a.m. digital streaming platform. And Tracy is going to talk about maybe not necessarily historical January, but historical in the context that we had so much clouds in January.
And you know what? I do believe we are coming off the cloudiest January on record. I do believe that that is a record for us. Right now, though, we have a clear sky that is out there. It is 4 in Crown Point, Valparaiso, Joliet, 3s in Lake Geneva and in McHenry. And then you get just a little bit of breeze, and it's enough to bring us some of these wind chills. 5 below at O'Hare, 4 below right now at Midway. 10 below is your wind chill right now in Zion. So lots of sunshine ahead of us, though, today. Ross?
We start with a metro delay. This is going to be on the Union Pacific West Line. Outbound train number 13 stopped in Geneva due to freight train interference. It's supposed to be at its destination at 7:10. That is obviously not going to happen. So we'll let you know when it's on the move. Things are on the move on the expressways. It's not that bad, like 35-minute average travel times. I can deal with that. But we've got to crash off the expressways in Mundelein at Route 60 and Midlothian Road. Val and Terrell.
All right, Ross, thank you. Well, this morning, the family of Tyre Nichols will lay him to rest, and Vice President Kamala Harris, along with several other civil rights leaders, will be in attendance.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're learning more about some of the former police officers facing second-degree murder charges in Tyre's death. ABC's Justin Finch is live in Memphis again this morning with those details. Justin, good morning.
Good morning to you both. The family here is saying there's so much more to Tyre Nichols than how he lost his life. And so they are taking today those who knew and loved him to remember him as a father, a son, and a brother who loved skateboarding and sunsets. This morning, Tyre Nichols' family heartbroken as they prepare to say their final goodbyes.
I really think that, like, I wasn't here, but, like, for real.
Jamal Dupree wishing he was there the night Memphis police pulled over his brother Tyre. Nichols' family vowing to get justice.
We got a long fight ahead of us.
That's right.
And we got to stay strong for it.
Understood.
So, justice for Tyre.
Justice for Tyre!
ABC News obtained the initial police incident report contradicting what was caught on video. The police report omits officers kicking and punching Nichols, though it's seen on several cameras, saying only one officer deployed his baton while giving verbal commands to stop resisting, striking him several times in the right arm. The report later claiming officers were able to take Nichols into custody after several verbal commands. But the body cam video shows Nichols injured and slumped on a car as officers stand by. 24 minutes passing before aid is rendered. Nichols died 3 days later. And new details from the files of 2 officers accused in Nichols' murder. Desmond Mills Jr. and Demetrius Haley both received written reprimands for failing to file required paperwork after making arrests where force was used. They're among the 5 Memphis police officers and 3 Memphis Fire Department personnel fired over Nichols' death. 4 other law enforcement officers were placed on leave pending investigation. And the investigations here are ongoing. The city of Memphis going on to say that even more audio and video from Nichols' arrest could be coming out in the coming weeks as additional criminal and administrative investigations here are carried out. In Memphis, I'm Justin Finch, ABC7 Eyewitness News. Val Terrell, back to you.
All right, Justin, appreciate you and your reporting. Thank you so much. This morning, Chicago police are telling us that a person is in custody And a source says charges are pending in the case of a 96-year-old woman whose body was found in a freezer on the city's northwest side. That woman has been identified as Regina Michalski. Her body was found Monday. Neighbors and relatives say Michalski had not been seen in years. Her estranged granddaughter says that she contacted police because she had an uneasy feeling that something was wrong.
I can't really explain it, call it intuition, if you will. I just want someone to go over there and see if she's alive, and if she is, if she's okay.
Michalski is said to be a Polish immigrant who survived the brutality of World War II. Police are expected to give us an update on this case a little later on today. This is new this morning. Zion Benton Township High School plans to have extra security on campus this morning. There was a shooting reported in the parking lot outside the school last night during a basketball game against Waukegan. No injuries were reported, but Zion police did find 2 cars that were damaged when the alleged shooters were trying to drive off.
A law firm in Chicago says a $12 million settlement has been reached in the shooting of a 12-year-old boy during a SWAT raid in the suburbs.
Jessica D'Onofrio has more on the announcement that's happening today, Jess.
Attorneys for the family of 16-year-old Amir Worship are holding a news conference this morning. They plan to announce that a $12 million settlement has been reached. Back in 2019, Amir Worship was 12 years old when he was shot in the knee during a pre-dawn raid on his Markham home. The boyfriend of Amir's mother, who was wanted on drug charges, was the target of the raid. Attorneys for the Worship family say officers from the South Suburban Emergency Response Team aimed assault rifles at Amir and his mother in their bedrooms as they were obeying all commands. Attorneys say one of the officers' guns went off, striking Amir in the leg, shattering his kneecap. He's had to have 5 knee surgeries and will require multiple knee replacements. Now, after the incident, Amir's mother filed a lawsuit against Country Club Hills, the Village of Richton Park, and 4 police officers. Meanwhile, attorneys say several investigations failed to find any officer misconduct. So the family is asking the Cook County State's Attorney to reopen its investigation. Meanwhile, we are reaching out to officials with Country Club Hills and the Village of Richton Park for comment. Terrell?
Jessica D'Onofrio, Jess, thank you. Governor Pritzker says the state's public health emergency over COVID will end on May 11th. It's the same as the federal government's end date. That means that many Americans could start having to pay for COVID-19 testing and treatment depending on their insurance coverage. Millions could lose Medicaid coverage.
Chicago City Council meets today, and Mayor Lori Lightfoot is expected to introduce a tentative agreement her administration has reached with ComEd. It is a complex 15-year deal, and part of it deals with clean energy projects in the city. Council approval is needed, and that vote could come next month.
The Metropolitan Water Reclamation District will mark the first day of Black History Month with a flag-raising ceremony. It's going on this morning, 10 o'clock at the Barbara J. McAllen main office building on Erie Street. All 7 plants will also raise the Pan-African flag. This is the 4th year for the annual event.
All right, well, excitement is growing over tonight's Powerball lottery drawing. The jackpot has swelled $653 million. The top prize has been rolling over since mid-November. If there is a single winner tonight, the cash option, just $350 million.
I got some things that I want to do, some dreams I want to fulfill.
Oh,
What could the list?
Oh, man.
Right?
Right? And does it change? Like every time we do this story, is it the same one?
Well, I mean, it feels like these jackpots have been so big back to back recently.
Yes, they have.
So yeah, I'm kind of in the same kind of category. What about you?
So I think the same. I think the same. I don't think anything has changed.
And for me, a lot of it's giving back, helping people out, paying off some past due bills.
Right, that for sure. And I think I've said it before, like I want like the friends and the kids of the friends that I have to be able to go to college without having to worry about taking out a loan. Yeah, just to be able to get through college, or if they have some loans, pay off those student loan debts. I would open up a workout facility.
At your house?
No, not at my house. It's going to be my facility.
Oh, it's yours?
Yeah, because I'm going to quit this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be a personal trainer.
Ooh. You'd be really good at that.
Yeah, because I want to motivate people.
Yeah, you're really
and
good
then
at
it would force me
to actually get in and do the work
to stay on track too, and just build a community.
I love that.
I love that community. Yeah, so that's my new thing I'm going to do if I win the lottery. Okay. Now, when somebody else wins this and the next one comes up, I'll come up with something else.
Live and local news, just getting started. Stream it out loud this morning. When we come back, crime and safety were once again hot topics during last night's Chicago mayoral forum. ABC7 political analyst Laura Washington is with us live in less than 5 minutes or so to dive deeper into this debate.
But first, Tracy has that AccuWeather forecast. She is tracking some 40s in the forecast. She'll talk about it next.
Good morning, and it is a good looking morning from the inside. It's really a cold morning out there, but the sun is up and we are seeing it. Our highs today will be up around 30 degrees, and we have another moonlit sky ahead of us here tonight. Right now, many of our temperatures are above where they were at this hour yesterday. There are just a couple of exceptions, but my gosh, it's 12 degrees above where it was at this hour yesterday in McHenry. But wind chills, yeah, feels like it's 9 below in Crystal Lake, 8 below in Lake Geneva, 10 below right now in Gurnee, 9 below Morris, 5 below. These are wind chills in Lowell, Indiana. Today, the temperatures will be going up, and the wind chills, well, they will not be as harsh. Even still, wind chills in the teens are certainly not very much fun, and we are going to continue with kind of a brisk theme here this afternoon. Tomorrow, yeah, we do get up around freezing, a quick cold blast on Friday, but the weekend into early next week, not too bad. Roz?
We're hearing about a structure fire on the near west side on Lake Street between Morgan and Carpenter. We are seeing delays there so far. Not hearing of any issues affecting the CTA Green Line because, of course, the L goes right over Lake Street at that location, but we'll let you know. But we do have a metro delay getting worse on the UP West Line. Now we have 2 trains, 13 and 15, are both stopped near Geneva and West Chicago because of freight train interference. And this has been going on for a little while, so both those trains are going to be pretty late. We'll let you know when they're on the move. Travel times, 35 to 40 minutes. That's the average. And we still have this crash eastbound on I-80 near Humboldt that is causing some pretty significant delays. Although traffic is starting to filter through, they do have everything on the shoulder. Val and Terrell.
All right, Ross, thank you so much. Crime and safety were once again hot topics during last night's Chicago mayoral forum. And with less than 4 weeks to go now until the election, the race is heating up.
The 9 candidates didn't hold back as they tried to discredit each other at times. Even the audience joined in. Political analyst Laura Washington is going to join us in a moment. But first, here's ABC7 political reporter Craig Wall.
Several times last night, hecklers interrupted the debate, especially when Brandon Johnson was trying to talk. But with crime the dominant topic, the candidates were often on the attack. All 9 candidates taking the stage at Steinmetz High, where the blows were often low. On the issue of crime, Mayor Lori Lightfoot the frequent target of attack.
This mayor was just asked a question about what she would do different, and she doubled down on her failed policies. That is the Lightfoot way. Double down on failed policies will give us a doubled murder rate.
The first thing I would do is replace Brown and his leadership team and really end the friends and family promotion system.
First of all, it's easy to come up here and say sound bites But what I didn't hear is any actual concrete solutions. And many of the things that we did hear were things that we're already doing.
Lightfoot also going on offense against two of her rivals, accusing them of not supporting police.
There are two defunders of the police that are on this stage. Chewy Garcia, the original one, in 2011, he slashed the sheriff's budget, slashed adult probation, and created a crisis. Brandon Johnson wouldn't answer your defunding question because the reality is that you can't do that if you want to keep people safe.
She's always creating smoke screens to try to cover up her own failures.
The defunder on the stage is actually Mayor Lori Lightfoot and Paul Vallis. They've defunded our public schools. They've defunded our mental health services.
Willie Wilson's controversial comments from the ABC7 debate about empowering police to hunt down criminals coming back to haunt him again.
It is disgusting that we have a 70-plus-year-old man on this stage who is a sharecropper from down south who would get on TV and constantly double down on hunting people down like rabbits.
Well, I don't respond to kids.
Lightfoot also facing a veiled attack over her campaign's attempt to recruit CPS students to volunteer for her re-election bid.
It's a shame that politicians, especially some on this stage, have gone to unethical behaviors because, they feel desperate. I don't know what it is.
I contact my ethics officer all the time, make sure that I'm doing things in compliance. This is the kind of leadership that the city deserves.
As for that heckling, I heard from a CPS teacher who said they were there last night because they were upset that the CTU is diverting their dues to help Brandon Johnson's campaign. Craig Wall, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Whew. Good Lord, there was a whole lot going on there.
Yes, it was.
Political analyst Laura Washington is here to dive deeper into this debate. Laura, good morning.
Good morning. It was lively and nasty.
Yeah, it sure was, right? A very different tone than the debate that we had here in our building.
We're getting a lot closer to the election, so the personal attacks are beginning to come out, and people are really trying to reduce their margins and use that for some leverage.
And so I imagine if time is any indication of that, then we're probably going
to
see more of it.
Worse.
Yeah, exactly.
But that always, to me, it hurts the candidate who does that.
Negative campaigning works,
yeah.
And especially if you have, a close opponent. Now, you might have noticed that Lori Lightfoot went after certain people. She went after Chewy Garcia in particular, Brandon Johnson, Paul Vallis. She sees those as her chief rivals.
One of the moments that's getting a lot of talk, and it did before when Willie Wilson made comments on police chasing down criminals. How do you think that was received last night?
Well, Willie Wilson's been criticized for that. He says that he had a son who was lost to gun violence, and he cares very deeply about making sure that the police do their jobs. J. Maul Green and the mayor criticized him for those remarks, but a lot of people and many of the candidates on that stage want more police services. They want more police on the streets.
And speaking of policing, a lot of the candidates said that they would immediately fire Police Superintendent Brown. Mayor Lori Lightfoot did not. Mm-hmm. What is your take on that?
Every single one of them. David Brown has been a lightning rod since he came into the job. Mm-hmm. Crime, Lori Lightfoot will say crime is down more recently, but it's up over her tenure and over his tenure. And so a lot of the candidates all believe that he needs to go. And she still defends him. Mm-hmm. She's been criticized for defending him, but he's her superintendent. At this point, she's stuck with him.
Yeah. We had audience involvement last night, and some shouting and some catcalls, and a lot of this was directed at Brandon Johnson. Mm-hmm. What was that whole thing about?
Good old Chicago politics. You see it all the time at campaign events where opponents, maybe in this case, were orchestrating the catcalls, the yelling and screaming to distract the candidate. Brandon Johnson, I thought he handled it very well. He's a teacher, a former teacher, so he knows how to handle kids in the classroom.
Yeah. Well, what were they saying?
Well, they were just, it was kind of unclear. They were just yelling, negative, very negative things. And not just Brandon Johnson, but
that's what I was going to say. Why him versus the others?
Primarily him. It was a lively audience, that's sort of the other side of having people in the audience, in the community. And you want to be able to have that kind of feedback, but it was pretty disruptive.
Yeah.
Okay, another part of last night's debate, which was interesting, was Mary Lori Lightfoot spent most of her time defending her record, but had little to say about how she would actually improve her performance if she were reelected.
Yeah, that was really curious. Over and over again when she was criticized, she'd say, but we are doing these things. We're bolstering the police department. We're doing economic development. We're fighting crime. She's talked a lot about what she has done in her past record. And if you're a voter and you're not necessarily that happy with her past record, you want to hear what is she going to do to improve on that in her next term. And there was very little of that.
Oh boy. as you said, the things that we're seeing now is probably going to get worse.
It's a month ago.
February
and
1st.
It's going to be
We're
lively.
28 days away.
Yep, right around the
27
corner.
technically.
Laura Washington, really good to see you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Chicago's election coming up February 28th. More information on all the races on our website and on our news apps.
Early voting for the consolidated primary election begins today. Registered voters in Cook County can cast ballots at 2 locations. The polling site at 69 West Washington Street and at the Markham Courthouse. Doors are open from 9 to 5 each day. Early voting expands to more locations on February 13th.
Still to stream this morning, a Michigan 6-year-old went rogue, ordered a lot of food from his dad's Grubhub account. We'll take a closer look at this. And Will Gans checks in with Dad later on this hour. More on the lessons later.
And the toast to the couple celebrating their relationship's big milestone here in the Windy City. Details ahead of this Valentine's Day.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
The Little Village Discount Mall vendors will stay open for 2 more weeks. 24th Ward Alderman Byron Seixo Lopez met with vendors and said legal action may be needed to protect them. Novak Construction bought the mall in 2020 but hasn't revealed its future plans. Vendors will meet with the developer on February 16th to discuss the next steps.
Get ready to pay more to visit 2 of Chicago's most well-known museums. Today, the price to visit the Peggy Notebart Nature Museum goes up, according to Chicago Park District officials. This is the first price increase in 15 years. Admission for the Field Museum went up last week.
Right now, we're going to link up with our Good Morning America viewers. Tanya Babbage will have a news update on TV in just a bit, and you'll see it here as well.
And when we come back, a Chicago hotel rolled out the red carpet for a special couple, and it's making Chicago proud this morning.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:23. I'm Tanya Babbage. Attorneys for the family of 16-year-old Amir Worship will hold a news conference today to announce a $12 million settlement has been reached in the case. Back in 2019, Worship was 12 years old when he was shot in the knee during a raid on his Markham home. The boyfriend of Worship's mother was the target of the raid. Attorneys say one of the officer's guns went off, hitting Amir in the leg as his family was obeying all commands. Amir's mother filed a lawsuit against Country Club Hills, the Village of Richton Park, and 4 police officers. We've reached out for comment but haven't yet heard back. Let's get a check of our ABC7 AccuWeather forecast. Here's meteorologist Tracy Butler.
Hi there, Tanya. And we do have a beautiful clear sky out there this morning, but we also have some mighty cold temperatures too. Take a look. 5 in Naperville, Joliet, and in Crown Point. 3 in McHenry, 6 right now in Waukegan. Wind chills this morning. Yeah, they bring us down somewhat. Not as cold as yesterday, but even still, wind chills below 0 are certainly not that much fun. This afternoon, those highs will get up around 30 degrees. Our wind chills this afternoon primarily will be in the teens. Roz will be after this break.
Now's the time for a healthy start.
So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Welcome back. Now we've got 2 Metro delays on the BNSF. Trains inbound, some of them are running about 10 to 15 minutes behind schedule because of track work, emergency track repairs near Berwyn. We still have 2 outbound UP West trains, 13 and 15, delayed 30 to 45 minutes because of freight train interference. Expressway travel times 35 to 45 minutes is the average, and we've got a crash in the burbs. This one is in Woodridge. It is on 63rd Street at 355. 355 not affected. It's getting by just fine in both directions.
Forget the temperature. Look at the sunshine.
Yes.
Right? Sun.
It makes a world of difference.
I actually felt like doing things yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I did too, actually.
Yeah, it was not a bad day.
No.
So yeah, more of that sunshine today. More cold too. We'll get into that with Tracy in just a little bit. An Iowa couple is celebrating their platinum wedding anniversary in Chicago. The two were serenaded at the hotel where they took their honeymoon 70 years ago. I wanted to hear more of that. Vern and Donna Nelson honeymooned at the Palmer House Hilton 7 decades ago. The hotel's Empire Room where they had the dinner all those years ago was reserved just for them to celebrate and reminisce.
That is so.
What made you fall in love with him?
He
couldn't find anybody else.
Oh, you're terrible. Yes.
Their son, Vern Jr., told us that his parents are also business partners, best friends, and high school sweethearts.
Look at that.
Isn't that great?
Aw, this just made me smile.
Mm-hmm. Goals.
Still looking the same and in love
together.
and just walking in that room holding hands and dancing. I love it.
At the heart of it, I just love the friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It just makes it all work.
My father used to say that. Yeah, I mean, before I could understand adult relationships, when I was a little girl, he said, always make sure you're friends first.
There it is.
Never understood it until I got to be an adult, how important it is to have a friendship as a base.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Because you can, I was about to go on to something else.
Me too. Let's not.
Coming up this morning, why you should never let your kid play with the phone alone.
Plus, we check in with Roz and Tracy for a check on the weather and travel times. That's coming up next, so stay with us. You're watching ABC7 News, streaming at 7.
You're watching ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
Now at 7:30, taking a look at the morning's top story, Chicago police say a person is in custody, and a source says charges are pending in the case of a 96-year-old woman whose body was discovered in a freezer on the city's northwest side. That woman has been identified as Regina Michalski. Police are expected to give us an update on the case later today.
Law firm says that a settlement has been reached in the shooting of a 12-year-old boy. Here he is right here. This is in the suburbs back in 2019. Amir Worship was shot in the knee during a pre-dawn raid on his Markham home. The attorney for Amir and his family plan to hold a news conference to talk about that this morning.
Later today, the family of Tyree Nichols will lay him to rest. Tyree died 3 days after several Memphis police officers were seen on camera, body cam, beating him. Vice President Kamala Harris, along with several civil rights leaders, will be at today's funeral.
Bottom of the hour on a Wednesday morning. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. We're going to take you outside, let you look at the sunshine, get your day started on the right foot there. And not as cold as the last 2 mornings, Tracy.
That's right. Good morning. I mean, yesterday at this time, we were at 1 below zero. At least we're at 7 above. Still, it's cold. No matter how you slice this, we do have very cold temperatures this morning and even colder wind chills. Feels like it's 10 below in Zion. Right now, 5 below in Maryville. It is 2 below your temperature and your wind chill in St. Charles. A light wind there. As for today, we'll be up around 30 degrees for an afternoon high temperature. So getting closer to the average high. Lots of sun in the forecast for us today, too. We'll talk more about that and a big time thaw in the 7-day. And that's coming up. Roz?
Wanted to update these metro delays. First off, good news on UP West. Those 2 outbound trains, 13 and 15, they were stuck for a long time by a freight train. Well, the freight's gone. They're on the move, but at least 30 minutes late, both of them. On the BNSF, some inbound trains running about 10 minutes behind schedule because of some track work at Berwyn. On the expressways, wow, the Kennedy got slow very quickly. It's almost an hour 10 from O'Hare to downtown. Everything else running about 45 minutes between the tri-state and downtown. And we've got one new suburban crash in Woodridge, in Lombard at the intersection of Main Street and Roosevelt Road. Val and Terrell.
All right, Roz, thank you.
Let's get into today's talkers, what we're talking about this morning.
Yeah, we're going to begin with a 4th Bad Boy movie that is now in the works.
Will Smith, Martin Lawrence talked about this on Instagram. Here it is.
Let me give y'all a hint. Oh, that's my John. It's about that time. Marty
Now slap him. Just playing.
I love these two together.
I do too. Yeah.
And I saw the Bad Boys 3, the newer one, and this was the one I think after 20 years or something like that. I might be having the years wrong. It was just as good as the old ones.
Was it?
Yes, to me it absolutely was. They've aged. Martin is still hilarious. He's older. He's got more weight. He can't do what he used to do. But they wrote to who and then they made it modern, but yet they still paid homage to the older Bad Boys. It was great.
It was good. And I think they can do it again for this 4th one.
After that, you want them to stop?
I don't know. No, it's not even that. It's Will Smith. And I'm not. I'm not hung up on it. I just feel like I saw the dark side, and I can't unsee it. And now every time I see him, I see that, and that's not fair, because I mean he's trying to move on, and I think this movie's going to help him with that, move on a little bit. But I cannot.
You can't. I can. I haven't seen it. I mean, I'm sure he's suffered enough and realized how much of a screw up that was. Yeah, so it's time. For me, it's time to move on. Yeah. And I'm excited to just see those two back together. I love that when they make me laugh. Yeah.
And they're good at it.
They are very good at that.
So no release date yet or a title for this 4th installment, but we'll see. It already looks good.
All right. Well, when Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest during a game earlier this month, CPR, as we all know, saved his life.
Now he's hoping to motivate people to learn CPR.
As you know, CPR saved my life earlier this year on the field, and CPR could easily save your life or someone you love. That's why I'm proud to announce that I'm partnering with the American Heart Association and kicking off Damar Hamlin's 3 for Heart CPR Challenge. And of course, this one's got 3 steps. Step 1, go to heart.org/3 to watch a short video to learn hands-only CPR. Step 2, donate to the AHA to fund CPR awareness and education. And step 3, challenge 3 friends to do the same. To kick things off, I'm challenging the GOATs. LeBron James, Tom Brady, and Michelle Obama, you've all been challenged. And one more thing, make sure you share your videos on all socials and tag me and have your hearts up.
Huh?
I just love this.
Yeah?
I just love, like when I look at his face, my eyes are welling up because I think this could have been a completely different story. Look at him.
He could have died on the football field that day.
Yes, and then now he's doing good. Yes, do it. And I love these challenges.
Yeah, they're good. We'll see. We'll see if Michelle Obama does it.
And notice he challenged Michelle Obama, not
Didn't
Barack
say
Obama.
Barack.
I'm telling you, she's the one.
She
We
is.
love him, but no,
Yeah.
she's the woman.
She sure is.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Right. I mean, she's all that.
Thing. Yeah, I just hope that somebody in the room knows what the heck to do if I fall out on the floor and go into cardiac arrest. A lot of people don't know CPR.
I know.
Hell, I don't know CPR.
Do you know they were offering that? Disney was offering that class.
Wait,
really? You know what?
Online, I saw that, and by the time I signed up, it was full.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
we need to just get somebody in here in this studio, put some beds up, and let's get have folks
That's
do it in sessions.
Let's do it on this broadcast.
show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sony.
We should do that. Great idea. Because it's hard. It takes all of the wind out of you.
Yeah.
And then I guess my fear is if I'm on the floor, if something happens to you, I'm giving you CPR.
Oh, get closer, baby.
Am I going to hurt you?
No.
I think that's
a
everyone's big
misconception.
fear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they say just do it.
Just go
and
for
they
it,
do
right.
those because you're
Those
going to help
compressions,
her.
right?
You're going to help her more than you're going to hurt her.
Yeah. I sure
So
hope
I agree. Now make sure you're doing it right here in the middle.
Right. Is that?
Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. I don't ever.
Because I was about to ask. So the middle.
And then here I go telling people what to do. No, ain't no CPR right there and right there.
Yes.
No. That's where I was going. You know, you might.
I was trying to
No, it's it.
slip
No.
up and-
You need to be up in HR. Nah. You know what? There's a young lady who DM'd me who teaches CPR classes, and I'm going to see if I'm going to reach back out to her. Yeah, she's says she's certified and all of that stuff, and make sure it's the proper credentials, and maybe I'll see if I can get her on here.
I think it's a
because she
great
says
idea.
she wants to get the word out about the misconceptions, how it's not as hard as you think, and how it you can learn it relatively quickly. I'm with you. We need it.
Yeah, you can save somebody's life easily.
Yeah.
So Hamlin, by the way, teamed up with the American Heart Association to launch that 3 for Heart CPR challenge. In case you missed it, there are 3 steps. Only CPR. Donate money to the American Heart Association. Challenge 3 friends to do the same thing. And then there's this as we move on here.
Yeah, let's roll that prompter.
Roll on.
Let's go.
There we go.
Keep going.
Keep going. There we go. We mentioned this at the beginning of the show. It's a lesson.
Oh, sorry. Here, let me move over a little bit.
Come on over here, Ross. I
You guys have no idea what's going on. It's a lesson learned for a father and son in Michigan, and we did mention this earlier.
Exactly, and this, of course, after the 6-year-old spent nearly $1,000 on food from Grubhub without telling his parents.
All right, so ABC's Will Gans has this story.
It started as a typical Saturday night for the Stonehouse family outside of Detroit.
It was little father and son time, and mom was out at the movies with her girlfriends.
Keith and his 6-year-old son Mason hanging out, eating chicken sandwiches and fries for dinner before calling it a night.
He was playing with my phone for 30 minutes, and I never suspected that he was going to do what he did.
What Mason did was order food.
What's your favorite food in the whole world, Mason?
Shrimp.
$1,000 worth of shrimp and other food from his dad's Grubhub account.
5 jumbo orders of shrimp and the endless sandwiches and ice cream and chili cheese fries and rice and grape leaves.
How hungry would you say you were? Were you this hungry? Were you this hungry?
Like this hungry.
That's pretty hungry, right?
You wanted $539 worth of pizza, right? Yeah.
Dad wrote off the first couple of deliveries because his wife Kristen runs a bakery out of their home. But then
The doorbell continuously rang over and over again. It was just nonstop.
The execution of Mason's late night snack attack, flawless.
5-minute span, he had ordered food from every restaurant in town.
There was only one refund option.
We had to open up his piggy bank and take the money out and explain that this $20 bill covers some sandwiches and this $20 bill covers chili cheese fries.
I had 1 cent left.
The Stonehouse family delivering a ready-to-eat lesson for parents everywhere.
You think your kid's not going to do it. You think, well, he's just going to go to the app that he always goes to, and you have no idea.
Keith says the Stonehouses are now calling themselves the Leftover family. And luckily, because Mom runs that bakery, they have 4 refrigerators that really come in handy, especially these last few days. Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
I don't know if there's enough days around to eat that many,
food.
$1,000 worth of leftovers.
Right, it's probably not going to be good either.
Well, you know what? He's so cute.
He is. That's
The little 6-year-old is so adorable. It's hard to be mad at him. I know this is where I come. I'm the softy parent. I'm the jellyfish parent. I'd be like, oh,
Honest mistake.
yeah,
Or
it's
not.
Okay.
No, I know, right? You got to hide the phone from these kids. My niece can work the phone better than most.
Oh.
And she's 4 now and can work the phone.
She can probably tell you what to do.
Yeah, she'll go and grab it, roll up in a corner by herself, put her finger in her mouth, and goes to town on that phone.
It is. I know she shouldn't, but she's probably kind of cute over there with her. You're like, what is she doing? She's like, minding my business.
Yep.
Until.
Yep, $1,000.
So Uncle Terrell just paid $1,000.
And that ain't happening. Eyewitness News, stream it out loud this morning. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more in 90 seconds. Tomorrow is Groundhog Day, and this year marks 30 years since Groundhog Day hit the big screen. Today, the Groundhog Days Festival kicks off in Woodstock, the city where that iconic comedy was filmed.
And tonight at 6, they're hosting Welcoming of the Groundhog. Fans will get to take pictures with the mascot, Woodstock Willie. And at 7, there will be a showing of the film. Groundhog Days Festival runs through Sunday. Have you ever seen Groundhog?
I have, yeah.
Oh, you have?
Seen,
Okay.
have you seen Groundhog Day?
No.
Well, maybe we should do it this year.
Yeah,
do a special
perhaps.
screening. With us, yeah. So outside we go. It feels like Groundhog Day. Looking at this live picture right here, and I'm okay with that, just because we've got some sunshine, Tracy. Although it is still cold outside.
Yeah, we would like to put this on repeat, that's for certain. Skies that are clear out there this morning, but let's not repeat the cold. And the good news is, for anybody going to Woodstock tomorrow morning, we won't have temperatures in the single digits, but we still will have temperatures probably in the teens around Woodstock. And right now in Woodstock, it is 4 degrees. It is 4 in Valparaiso. It is 7 in Kankakee. It is 3 right now in Morris. And we do have some areas with these wind chills that are below 0 this morning. This afternoon, glorious sunshine. Highs today up near 30 degrees. Tomorrow we should get to freezing. How about that? That's not bad. We wake up to temperatures tomorrow in the teens. Now, Friday, we get another quick cold blast. Highs on Friday, probably lower end of the teens. But then look what happens as we go through the weekend. those temperatures are going to be going up. And early next week, we may even have temperatures that reach the 40s. Well, travel times, we don't like them to go up as much, and Roz can address that.
They have surpassed the 40s. We're well beyond that. We're looking at about a 50-minute average. I mean, you can see all this congestion. And the Kennedy, well, yes, it is extremely crowded. It's an hour 20 from O'Hare into downtown. Just a lot of volume out there. Now, we've got a crash outbound on the 290, just past North Avenue. Those delays begin back at Wolf Road, Mannheim on the outbound dike. So that is creating some issues. We still have crews working to clear this crash eastbound 80 at Humboldt. It's not a solid delay, but it is backed up for a couple of miles. And then we've got one new suburban crash to add to the list. This is in Mundelein at US 45 and Diamond Lake Road. Back to you guys, Val and Terrell. Terrell, I think the reason you haven't seen Groundhog Day, the movie, yet is because that movie is just about as old as you are.
Roz, I think I'm the one. Terrell's actually seen it. Yeah, but it is, I know, old, and I'm old too. It's all good.
I'm such a bad movie watcher. I got to do better.
Yeah, me
both
too.
Of us, yeah. All right, hey, really big breaking news that we've gotten within the last few minutes or so from the NFL. Legendary quarterback Tom Brady has announced he is retiring from football.
Again.
Yeah.
Let's watch and hear what he had to say.
Good morning, guys. I'll get to the point right away. I'm retiring for good. I know the process was a pretty big deal last time, so when I woke up this morning, I figured I'd just press record and let you guys know first. So I won't be long-winded. I think you only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much, to every single one of you, for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
He was doggone near emotional.
He's on the verge of tears.
Yeah.
So at the end, he goes, I wouldn't change a thing.
Right.
So that's where I was wondering if we were going to hear something that would maybe hint at the fact that he regretted that decision last year, because that decision ultimately led to the end of his marriage as well.
Yep.
But the fact that he says that he would not change a thing means he still stands on the fact that he made the right decision by not staying retired the first time.
It's up for debate. There's a lot of debate about
there is a lot of debate, and we debated it a year ago, whether, Giselle was being too demanding, whether he was, too selfish, about this love of the game. But I felt that.
I did too.
I felt that
thought
he
the same
meant
thing.
the same thing. That doesn't look like something or someone who's saying this now and then
plans to
a
come
month
back.
or now or a
Is
month or
coming
two
back
from
next
now. And he is a free. The other day I heard on the Sports Center that he's a free agent.
Talking about him going to the 49ers or the Jets potentially, and he could have an impact. Tom Brady can still play football.
Nah.
You don't think so? I'm not saying he'll go to a Super Bowl, but doing well for a team, at least temporarily, I don't know.
Oh, God. Here comes the great debate again.
Yeah,
is this the real one? You remember we bet last time.
We sure did. Yeah, we want to do it again?
Why not? Why not? I say, okay, what are you going to say?
What do you say? No, you go for it.
I say he's done.
He's done. I say he comes back.
Okay.
And we'll put some food on it. No, money.
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 Yeah, because I'm done eating.
Vegan Val?
Today.
Yes.
And for the next 20 days. If I can pay, you better pray for me.
I sure will. Much more when we come back. News about when you can watch Black Panther: Wakanda Forever on Disney Plus. That's on the way. So this is streaming today. Disney Plus is celebrating the start of Black History Month by streaming the debut of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Looks so good.
It really does.
Marvel Studios' blockbuster is nominated for 5 Oscars, including Best Supporting Actress. Angela Bassett doing her thing. You can stream Black Panther: Wakanda Forever now exclusively on Disney Plus. Disney is the parent company of this TV station. We'll take a quick break. We're back in 90 seconds.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
So welcome back. This is New at 7. Interested in working a 4-day work week? Heck yeah. You might want to look at the state of Maryland. Lawmakers there are proposing legislation to subsidize employers who allow a 32-hour work week using tax credits. Employees would still get paid for their usual 40 hours. Their bosses would get to decide if they can work 8 hours for 4 days or a full 5 days a week with fewer hours per day. If that legislation passes, it would make Maryland the first state to use taxpayer dollars to encourage a shortened work week. Boy, that's what dreams are made of.
It sounds too good to be true.
I know.
You know, the problem with that is, well, maybe not the 4-day, but 5 days at less time.
Yeah.
But how do you stop working when you go home? Because you still have emails
Yep.
and phone calls and all this stuff you have to return.
Right.
You can't just like shut
it
off.
down. Yeah. And whenever everybody else is working and you're not, you
Right.
are still working.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Always.
That's the problem.
So I'm with the 4day.
Yeah.
4-day.
Cut it
Just be
off.
done yet. No, it's sweet. Sounds good.
Who's moving to Maryland?
Right? I'm following you.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for us, especially on Sunday, is when I really feel like I've started to relax.
Nope.
And then, so
Yeah.
it's, so you need more time?
No, yeah, I'm
You're saying more
agreeing
time?
with
Oh,
you.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And then you got to turn around 5 p.m., 6 p.m. and get ready to go.
It's almost like you dread Sundays.
Yes.
Well, I know I do.
And then Fridays, you're tired.
Exactly.
You can't do anything Friday, so you get like
One day.
Yep. One day.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here.
It's almost like hate talking about it because you know it won't happen.
Happen for a minute. Yeah.
Just deal.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, that's going to do it we're done complaining now. For Tracy and Roz, I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. Thanks for watching Eyewitness News at 7 a.m. Tanya Babbage will have news updates, and Tracy and Roz will talk weather and traffic during Good Morning America. We'll hear from them in just a moment. But from everyone here at ABC7, have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow morning at 7.